Would you like to do YouTube full time? Tell us about your next tattoo. What was your boyfriend's reaction when you told him you make ASMR videos? Is the podcast coming back? At what age would you like to get married? Do you regret dating any of your exes? What's up everybody? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Sam. I post all things lifestyle, faith, travel, occasional vlogs every now and then. This channel is essentially just a video diary of my life, and I am really happy that you're here. Today we're just gonna do an old school Q&A catch-up kind of video. I asked you guys over on Instagram to leave me some questions just so we can chat and kind of catch up, see what's new, and do a little check-in. I hope that you are all doing really, really well, that you had a wonderful January and a great start to 2025. I do have my phone with the questions here, and there are quite a good amount of them. I was kind of surprised. So I'm just gonna jump into that. But before we get started, if you are looking for more content from me outside of YouTube, I will have my Instagram, my TikTok linked down below. My ASMR channel will also be down below, although I'm sure most of you probably know me from there, but if you don't, the link to that will be down below. Okay, so let's get started with the questions, shall we? So there were a couple of these. Tell us about your next tattoo. As of right now, I really don't have any other plans for tattoos. I have 3. They're very small. I have one on my rib, one on my forearm right here, which is like the size of a dime or a nickel. And then I have one on my wrist here. They're all really small and dainty. So I don't have plans on getting anything. The only tentative plan I have one day when it comes time to, God willing, get married, I would like to either get my maiden name or my maiden initial somewhere on my body, maybe on my ankle or like the back of my foot, kind of, in my dad's handwriting. And then after that, I probably won't get any more. I'm not really trying to be covered. Nothing wrong with that. I just don't think it fits me personally. But that's the only other tentative idea I have at the moment. This is a good one. What was your boyfriend's reaction when you told him you make ASMR videos? So I told my boyfriend before he was even my boyfriend. I realized I never told our story here on YouTube. I have told it on TikTok. But long story short, I have known him for a very long time, since I was 9 or 10 years old. We reconnected springtime last year. And then over in September, we went out for what we say is our first date, even though it isn't really, but it is. Anyway, we were just chit-chatting, catching up. We went out to breakfast. We were there for like 4 hours, and I told him then, I don't remember how it came up, but I just told him that I did YouTube, and he has been nothing but supportive since the moment I told him. He's even supportive about like Instagram. He's like, do you have something to post today? Do you have a picture to post? Because he knows that I'm trying to be regular with it. And I remember I told him during that breakfast date, I was like, oh, it would be my dream to just do content creation just full time one day maybe. And he was like, just do it. Like, that's awesome. Just do it. Obviously I'm not in a place where I can do that full time right now, nor do I really want to at this point in my life. But he's been nothing but supportive even before he was my boyfriend, so he's a good egg. Any small victories so far in 2025? Actually, yes. When my 10-year anniversary hit in January, I did a photo shoot. If you follow me on Instagram, you saw it. And I posted it on my public Instagram, but then I shared that public Instagram post on my private personal Instagram with just friends and family. And that was the first time I was ever like super bold and just out there with it. Everyone in my life pretty much knew, except for maybe like coworkers, just because I never blended the two lives. I always say content creation is part-time job, and then I have my full-time TV job. That was the first time I ever blended the two. And so now all my coworkers kind of know, and a lot of them have brought it up to me in conversation, and it was the first time that I was like boldly just, yes, this is what I do, and I'm really proud of it. And I got nothing but good reactions. If anybody had a bad reaction, they just didn't tell me, and that's cool too. So that was a small victory, because I've been wanting to do that for a couple years now, and I used my 10-year anniversary as an excuse to just push myself and do it. And so it was one of those things where I like shared it and then just threw my phone off to the side and didn't touch it for like an hour because I was kind of freaking out. But I'm very proud of myself for doing that, and I do not regret it at all. Next one, are you friends with MadFit? I wish. If you're not aware who MadFit is a fitness instructor here on YouTube. She also has an app. I think she has like 10 million subscribers. I have been a fan of hers for a long time. I used her videos back during COVID when I lost like 35 pounds or whatever. I still use her videos every now and then to this day, and she is wonderful. No, I am not friends with her, but I did tag her in a video of Luna like going crazy on the TV with one of her videos, and she reposted it, and I was like, yes, I need to get Luna famous so she can start paying some bills and like get sponsored, you know? Is the podcast coming back? I know I have gone back and forth over this, and I do apologize for that. It's like I do want to, but at the same time I feel like I'm being called to like do other things. I don't know, and because I can't be that consistent with it, I don't want to commit to it. So I'm not going to say never, but it's something that I'm really contemplating before I get back to it. So I'm just not going to talk about it for a little while because I don't want to keep making promises that I'm not keeping. But I am thinking about it. I think about it often. I promise. I'm just not sure yet. So you will know when I know. How would you handle being bullied at work? I have been bullied at work. Not at my current job. In college, I worked at a very fancy country club. And you know, the attitudes of some of the members at these country clubs are not always the best, but they were actually nicer to me than my coworkers, my fellow waiters and waitresses and servers and busboys and everybody, that whole team. They all were predominantly Spanish speaking, and they were always talking about me in Spanish, kind of in front of me, because I know I am Hispanic, but I look white and I don't speak fluent Spanish, but I knew enough to know when they were talking about me, and I was very uncomfortable every day. I hated it. I was also not good at my job, and they hated me for that as well, and they knew that I was just there for a summer job, and they felt like I was taking money away from them. Long story short, I was uncomfortable for pretty much that whole summer, but at the end of the summer, I got really good at my job, and then all of a sudden their attitudes changed, and I could tell that they were trying to respect me more. And at that point, you know, I was not going to be buddy-buddy, but we were civil and I got through it. So my advice would just be keep your head up. If you're not that great at what you do, although I'm sure you are, but if that were the case, get really good at what you do. Always walk with your chin up, confidence, and just do what you're paid to do. And at a certain point, people will have no choice but to respect you. So do you regret dating any of your exes? It would be easy to say, yeah, of course, but actually no, I don't. Every single person that I've dated, whether it was a boyfriend or just someone that I dated, every single one of them taught me something and made me better. My boyfriend and I now, you know, we made a conscious effort to take things that we both learned in our last relationships and make us better now in our current relationship. And I was talking to my friend about this the other day, that your mind almost subconsciously gets to a point where you're like, okay, that didn't work in the past, so I'm gonna do something different. And sometimes you do it without even thinking about it, and you're like, okay, this works better. And sometimes my boyfriend and I look at each other and we're just like, wow, like, why are we, like, that was a really healthy conversation. Like, why are we so healthy? Like, cause it's like, almost like it's not the norm anymore. So no, I would not say that I regret any of them. Did they have really low points? Yes, but those points made me stronger, and they made me a current, or a better current girlfriend now. So where do you see your YouTube channels in 5 to 10 years? In like 10 years, will I probably be making ASMR videos? I want to say no, but I'd like to say that my plan right now is to always be on YouTube in some way, shape, or form. I really am enjoying non-ASMR content. I still like my ASMR content, but as I grow, I just feel like I like sharing more of my life. I also am getting into short form content now on Instagram and TikTok, and I have really been enjoying that. And my plan is to continue to share my life as I go through the next chapters of eventually selling this apartment and getting a house and getting married, and if it's in God's plan, having children. I don't think I'm gonna like share my children personally, but just that chapter of my life, because I really do mean it when I say that this is a digital diary of my life, and it's so cool to be able to look back on videos from 3-4 years ago. Look how different I looked, how different I even talked sometimes or acted. Look how much I've grown. And I really enjoy that about YouTube. That's like my favorite part other than interacting with you guys. So I will be here on YouTube in some way, shape, or form. So as long as you will be here, I will be here, and I will continue sharing parts of my life. Tell us more about your boyfriend. And then in parentheses, it says only if you're comfortable, which I appreciate. So yeah, I've been with my boyfriend now for a little over 4 months, I think. It feels like so much longer. I do think in a couple of months, when he feels comfortable and when I feel comfortable and I feel like we are established enough, I guess, I would love for him to come on a video with me and maybe we tell our story together. But I just want to let a little time pass before then. But I'll tell you Spark Notes version. I've known him since I was a kid because our parents grew up on the same street and stayed friends for all of our lives. So his family, like his aunts and his uncle and one of his cousins, I have literally known since I was birthed. So I've known them my whole life, and I remember him when we were middle school, early high school. We didn't see each other for 15 plus years, and then we reconnected last spring, and the rest is kind of history. But it is quite a story, and he tells it probably better than I do. So maybe one day, if and when we're both comfortable, we'll get on camera together. He's, like I said, so supportive of all my YouTube stuff, and he's like, yeah, like share our story, share whatever, you know, share whatever you want. So I think it'd be fun to do that together one day. Would you like to do YouTube full time? I kind of touched on that, not at this point in my life, but one day down the road. It would depend on a lot of factors. It would depend on what my partner is also bringing, what our resources are looking like, how established we are financially. But I love the idea of, when it comes time to, again, God willing, have children, I love the idea of being able to be a stay-at-home mom, but I'm still working and still bringing income into the family and into the household. I personally, I was blessed as a kid where I never really had a babysitter. I was always either with a parent, aunt, or grandma, and that was pretty much it. I never really had a babysitter, and I love the idea of that. So obviously that is very hard to do. Not every family can do that, but if it is in the cards and in the budget for us, whenever that comes, not anytime soon, I do really like that idea. So it's an idea in the back of my mind, but it wouldn't just be YouTube. It would be all the social media platforms combined. So at what age would you like to get married? I would say, I'm 28, I'd say 30. I would like to not have kids like right away. I would like a year, preferably 2, of just marriage of me and my partner before kids come into the picture. And sometimes it's hard because you never know how long that's going to take. But my mom had me when I was 30, when she was 32, and I think that worked out pretty well. So I'd say 30-ish. Couple questions like this. How do you feel about getting a cat friend for Luna? At this point, I am not going to get another animal. Luna, listen, Luna is high maintenance. I love her dearly. She's high maintenance. The hair, food is expensive, the vet is expensive. It's a lot. She is a happy cat. She sleeps when I'm gone, but when I come home, I actively play with her. I hold her, I carry her around. My mom loves her. She loves going to my mom's house. Like, she's good. People like to come for me and be like, that's wrong of you. You know, all cats need a friend. I have plenty of friends that I know that have only one cat and the cats are happy. One day when I have a bigger place to live in and I have someone else to live with me to help take care of the animals, I plan on getting more animals. So she's not going to be the only pet forever, but right now, just my one girl, and it's going to stay like that for the next 2-3 years. So, do you still enjoy making videos as much as you did in the beginning? I do, but I miss how much more time I used to have to devote to being really creative. And like, I used to make videos outside, and I used to make like driving videos, and you know, I used to be a lot more creative with it just because I had more time. Back then I was a freelance director. I was not full-time, so my schedule was always different. Maybe I'd work 2 days instead of 5, you know, a week. So sometimes it is hard to keep up and to like continue to come up with concepts and video ideas. But I do still really enjoy it. I feel like if I didn't enjoy it, I wouldn't be doing it. The fans want to know, will you spill the tea on why it didn't work out with your ex? Nah. That was over 2 years ago now. That's in the past. I don't even really think about it anymore, and that's kind of the way it should be. But thank you for your question. How do you get over a breakup? I have a whole video about this over on my ASMR channel that I made last year, but I'll give you like Cliff Notes version. No contact. If that is an ex, they are in the past stays in the past. The best way, the easiest way to move on, no contact. If you have to block, block off of all social media accounts. You don't have to block them. That's, you know, you don't have to be petty, but you can unfollow them on all social media platforms. Mute them from seeing their stories, block them from seeing yours. It should be a wall between past and present. The past should be back here. You're only looking forward. I would also say delete all photos and videos. I did that less than 12 hours after my relationship ended because I didn't want to give myself anything to look back on and like sulk in it. I wanted everything gone. That way I didn't have the option to look. I would also say distract yourself in the beginning, hang out with friends, hang out with family, but at a certain point you're gonna have to actually sit with it by yourself and process those things, whether it's crying, whether it's screaming, whether it's whatever you choose to do. You are gonna have to let those things out because the longer they stay in, the worse it's going to get. So you definitely have to process it. So don't distract yourself forever, but in the beginning, definitely distract yourself. Again, full video over on my ASMR channel. I think it's called Sam's Guide to Breakup or Heartbreak or something like that. Anyway, that is going to be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for sending in your questions. I hope that you enjoyed hanging out with me for a little bit, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.